So if you're watching the VOD, the first bit's gonna be a little more on the serious heavy side, and then hopefully it'll only take like 10 minutes, and then I'll go into the more lighthearted stuff again. But I did see the clip of Dr. Lupo talking about like what happened with Dr. Spec. I mean, to be fair, the freaking person saying that like Dr. Lupo was turning on everybody was wild. Like that's crazy. Because, I mean, yeah, it's not good what he did at all. You know, it's real bad. And yeah, I think it's more damning that he was in his late 30s because your brain is fully developed by that point. So yeah, no, that you done screwed up. Maybe if you were in your late teens, early 20s, sure. Not in your late 30s, man. Come on. yeah, no, that's inexcusable. You should know better by then, especially when he was married and had a child too. So that there's also that it's inexcusable. But because I think people were thinking on the side like, oh well, like seek forgiveness and like wanting to help them, which I feel like is great, right? I like people who have that mindset. It's just I think at the same time you do need to acknowledge who very clearly is not going to change. Like, especially when he's in his late 30s and did that, he's not going to change. He's not. Like, as Lupo said, he's just going to keep downplaying it and being like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And he's going to be fine off of it, right? Because his audience won't care. I think he's pretty much cultivated an audience that doesn't care about stuff like that happening. So yeah, you do need to draw the line. It's the same thing with Trump, and this is where the political things come in, but I'm linking this back to like Trump as someone who it's like people are voting for him and they're like, oh well, like he has these indictments, but like he's the better choice. And it's just weird because like sure, maybe if he was in his 20s and learned from those indictments, right, maybe it'd be fine. But all these happened, I think, in the span of him running from president to now, I believe, with all those indictments. So like it was like 8 years, and this man is what, 78? So it's when he was 70 to now. Like, yeah, no, he's the same person that did those same things. Like, what are we talking about? What are we doing here? I don't understand. I mean, the other thing too is that it blows my mind when I feel like people are actually unironically thinking like, oh well, Donald Trump and JD Vance get me. I'm like, those two are like the worst people. They're probably like the people who understand the least, other than like the most, like the richest people in the world. Because you had a guy who was born in New York City, I believe, grew up in New York City, and just kept getting stuff handed to him and went bankrupt like 6 times or something like that. And now lives in a mansion in Florida. And then you have JD Vance, who literally wrote a book that basically said all the working class people are beneath him. So like those are like the 2 worst people. To be like, oh yeah, they get me. It's like, no, they don't. They very much don't. Yeah, I think I'll loop back around to the Dr. Spec thing of like, that man does not care. You know, he's one of those people, I think, who does not care to change. And like, it's why I want psychology to be like a core class that everybody's taught. Because if you teach them, there was obviously something going on in the brain, right? Like narcissism, like some other stuff. If they get taught at a younger age, right, you can have a chance to fix that and make it so they don't turn out that way. You know? Or like don't figure out like 30 years later when they've already done so much damage to like multiple people, you know? If you have it so they take the chance to just like learn about them and then you go from there. Like, yeah, I'm sure like a lot less of that. I mean, obviously there'd still be some that slip through because they're like, I don't need, I'm perfectly fine, like normal. None of this sounds like me or anything. Or just the people who don't care about school in general. which I feel like psychology is one where like you should pay attention, because like it's not only just to like help you figure out like what stuff, like what problems you potentially have going on in your brain, but also like you just can better understand how to talk to people and how to deal with them. If you know how their brain works, then like you can talk to them. And like it's annoying because I feel like people only use that part for like advertising and freaking misinformation propaganda, and it sucks, dude. That's like the only two main things we're gonna use. But I mean, it's a capitalist system, so I mean, what do you expect? Of course we're not gonna use it to actually like show empathy and like talk to other people. No way, man. That's crazy. Why would we do that? But yeah, and I will say someone who I think should have been asked for forgiveness more is Chaka Khan or Emil. Not just because I had a bias going in, right? I won't lie, I had a bias going in. He was a part of the first YouTubers I ever watched, like on my own at least, which is the Runaway guys. So obviously I had bias there. But also like he was already working on himself before all that came out. So like he very clearly was trying to make it so that wouldn't happen again, right? So I feel like in that case, and I think most people did after that because they recognized that, but like, well, and also like, yeah, he took full accountability for it. But yeah, I think he is someone who like shouldn't be crapped on as much for that, because that's just what happens when your brain gets to that point. I feel like honestly his story is like a really good case study of like what can happen to like either lead them there or like what goes on during that. Because I feel like an interesting thing to note about that is he mentioned in it that he's never felt like role playing again, right? He never has had that itch again to want to role play again, at least in the way obviously he did it. That was like uncomfortable, which I find very interesting. It's almost like his brain now realizes like that's not great, or like it's not like, you know, it's kind of icky. So like, yeah, it definitely was because his mental health was at such a huge hit that his brain started like taking off those like sensors or like those alarm bells in a way, like it started disarming them, and then it made like, oh yeah, this is a good idea. So yeah, that's just what happens, man. It sucks. The same with like stalkers and stuff too. Their mental health gets so low and then they just start thinking like turn off all those alarm bells and think it's a good idea. So yeah, it's a real shame. Like that's always like whenever a crime just happens like that, man, it's just like in my mind it's always a lose-lose, because obviously the victim, right, but then the abuser got to that point where they thought doing that was a good idea. And it's like we kind of lost one in a way, you know, where if they just potentially got like the therapy or like the medication they needed to help with their condition, they might not have done it. And it sucks. But yeah, I mean, I feel like also with me like learning about this stuff with criminals, it becomes increasingly more obvious that they're just raising police budgets just to protect like the government, just to protect themselves. It's not about actually lowering the crime rates, it's just protecting themselves from like protests and all that. That's the only reason. I think that's why they canceled after a month, because they realized that was actually better. And so they're like, oh shoot, we still need them though to protect ourselves. So then they raised it back up and then made up that narrative. Because I think even in that like 1 month that like mayors were doing that, it actually showed the crime rate going down and then went right back up when they raised the budget like even higher than what it was before they started lowering it. So I think that was what was going on. But yeah, I think now like Define the Police has a negative narrative because I mean, yeah, the government's just spread it constantly. And again, it's obviously just so they can save themselves, because if defunding the police became a popular thing, then like, yeah, the government is like, well, they're not screwed, because there's a bunch of other stuff that's really popular in America that just is not getting passed. But yeah, it's not great. I did see someone though post a, like, I don't know if it was like an article, but it was like a quote of Lenin's, talking about the American like two-party system, and like, yeah, he basically said what's happening now, just like bang on, like a century later, like, yep, that's what's happening. Two bourgeoisie parties, man. But like, I think though the cracks are gonna start showing, because I think he said the bipartisanness of it is what's made it so successful, and yeah, obviously it's very partisan now. So I think you could see the cracks if, you know, a third party would be willing to try, of gaining some ground, gaining some success. Because yeah, they're obviously not bipartisan. I mean, I think every once in a while they are, but it's like, again, it's like foreign policy that just like only gives the like people in power money, and it's like, oh great, awesome. So yeah, that's the thing. What's also insane to me that like with the Ukraine-Russia thing, they're both sides are like on either side of the aisle, just like pro-Ukraine or pro-Russia, when it's just like, shouldn't we just end the war though? Like find a solution. And then I'm sure just be like, oh well, like either Ukraine or Russia, would depend on which one they support. They aren't gonna support that, they aren't gonna take it. It's like, no, I think they would. You know, it's been a lot of casualties, and like, you know, I think they want to end it. And then like, yeah, if one of them don't want to end it, just say like, straight up tell the truth, don't pull a freaking Israel. I don't understand why they're still doing it. Even freaking Republicans against Trump was saying like, oh yeah, they're protesting Netanyahu. Like, dude, come on. And then they're just like, oh yeah, this is really great. And also the leader of Hamas actually, like, he studied psychology and like how Israel works, so then they could find the weak points in Israel. And it's like, what are you on about, dude? Like, that's insane. That is an insane thing to say. Just to be like, oh yeah, nope, yep, it was his master plan all along. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't understand it, dude. God. Yeah, I think my political talk is over. See, only 15 minutes, that wasn't that bad. Actually, it was even less than that. It's like 13 or 12, I don't remember how long the intro was. Something like that. Yeah, there's that. Oh, actually, real quick though, before I move on, this also, I think it was Malcolm X said that like, oh yeah, they just use celebrities as like figureheads to just like, make people like not angry. I can't think of the word. Appease them, I guess. Like appease the people. It wasn't exactly like it, but it's like the general idea. Like that celebrities are kind of in that role. But yeah, I'm yawning now. Oh boy. Almost 17 minutes in a yawn. I can't wait to yawn the entire stream. I guess it's better than that one time I sneezed for like 15 minutes straight. That wasn't even that long ago, I think. I think that was towards the end of the school year last year. Or that might have been over the summer, actually. Was that over the summer? Because it was Wii Sports. Oh yeah, that was over the summer. God dang. Because I think it was that. It's when I played Racket Sports and all that too. That's crazy. Yeah. My last summer felt long and also not long at all. And that freaking driver's ed class was like the most miserable experience in the classroom ever. I literally cried after one of the class days. Like, that's how bad it was. because it's really hard to like try to learn something that you don't care about, and then also just have like those people in class who just always disrupt it, and it's just like, and it's just so annoying. Like, I feel like I don't know, because like I feel like it might be some way how their brain works and why they just can't be quiet, but like even then I'm neurodivergent and am able to be quiet. It's like I don't know. I have no idea, man. Yeah, those people just annoy me so much. Those are the type of people that just make a class like horrible for me. It's like those people are like, oh, you make this class so fun, and it's just like I don't understand how, because it's just a miserable experience through and through. I guess it's just because like I'm like I just want to learn the things just so I can forget them and then move on with my life, and then it's just like, and also I don't like people yelling is I think another thing too, which I'm not sure if I got that from like my mom and dad fighting all the time. Like I don't like people yelling. I mean, I'm sure it's like a thing most people are like, but I feel like I don't like people yelling more than most people. I don't know, but I feel like it has to be like partly due to that, even though I don't immediately think about that, right? Like back to those two fighting, I feel like it's probably something to do with it. I'm pretty sure it was one time I think we got like Burger King or something like that, and I just didn't eat it because they started yelling immediately at each other when they got it, and I just wanted to leave the table. So I don't even think I ate it at all. Or it was like half an hour later or something like that I ate it. Yeah, that was the thing, like if any time, especially at like the dinner table, they were just yelling, I would just try to leave as quickly as possible. I think my brother was kind of the same way too. But yeah, we would just both leave. I think it was usually to like a part where we couldn't see them, but we could still hear them. Something like that, but yeah. That sucked. Yeah, anyway, that was kind of heavy hitting. Even though the summer thing wasn't that rough, but yeah, just drop some trauma on that. Oh boy, just trauma dumping. My bad. Yeah, Enigmatic Recollection Chapter 1 is done, and I thought it was, I feel like it's honestly one of the favorite things I've seen of Hololive. It's probably just mostly because it was so different, right? And obviously it's not over. I think from what I heard, just from like what Shiori was referencing, that it seems like it's gonna start next week, like a week from now. So they're taking like a week break from it. But yeah, it sure was something. That's for sure. I do think like some of the storylines was like really neat. Obviously there's some stuff you can nitpick at, but I feel like no story's perfect, right? You can nitpick at a lot of stuff. Like for me it was like the Jonathan, like the last stream with Ame trying to find her pearl, or her diamond rather, sorry. And like once it got to that conversation, Narissa just kind of walked in and was like, oh hey, you did it. And then like I feel like even Ame at the time was just like, oh, I guess so. And then they just kind of went along with it and it was just like act like nothing happened. But like I feel like that's heavy nitpicking, you know. I feel like the rest of it was like good, but yeah, that part I just found kind of odd. I was like, wait a minute. Well, because I think the point is that yeah, Ame wanted to wait until the fight, and then that's when it was gonna happen. But Nurse just walked in and said it, so it was like, all right, sure. I'm sure it's something during the fight that was like changed it, but yeah. I mean, another thing also like you can nitpick at is being like, oh well, like Bijou probably should have won against Ina, but I feel like that just brings it more to the point of like, obviously they don't know what's going to happen, right? If they knew what was going to happen, the plot twist, I think they would have had like found a way to make it so Bijou beat Ina, right? Because like that just makes more sense with where it was going. Because the story is literally Bijou was corrupted, right? And then what happened at the end, this is obviously spoilers, but like, is that the king turned out to be evil and started corrupting everything, right? So it would have been perfect, but obviously that was not scripted. Well, it was scripted technically, but like they didn't know that was going to happen. And so yeah, Ina just won. I think it still can work though, especially since like it sounds like Cece's having an underlying story plot that's going to make her the main antagonist for chapter 2. She's in Justice, by the way. I guess an alternate universe, but still. Even like in like our universe, Cece, it's like, how is she in Justice? But anyway, I think that's gonna happen. It did seem like though there's gonna be like B was showing cracks again, and like I feel like it's like not great storytelling if she just becomes evil again. It's like, oh well, what was the point of the fight then? But if she takes the role of like what Ina did in chapter 1, but with Cece, because she's the princess and Cece was her knight, and I think also Bijou kind of signed off on whatever Cece wanted to do, which allowed the plan to go into effect. So I feel like if Bijou steps in that role, that can work, you know. But yeah, I also was definitely expecting Carney to be on the server, but yeah, I guess she wasn't. Well, I guess that's why it was the whole vacation thing, huh? Was to explain why she wouldn't be there for the last day either. It was funny to me though, like, because obviously Bae was only there day 1 and the last day. Just started screaming, I knew it, with the freaking twist. I don't know what it was. I guess it's just because, like, yeah, she was only there for the first day and the last day and just screaming, I knew it. It's like, you were barely there. I just found that really funny though. Oh, and also another thing that people like brought up too was, I think Nerissa and Fauna on the last day wanted to like chat about something. Oh yeah, it's because Mume put something in the like her non-11 tickets, and Nerissa bought one, and so she was basically doing tax evasion. And that was what that conversation was about. And Mume was like, I want to hear, and then Nerissa was like, no, and then Mume was like, okay. Like, yeah. Yeah, she also just listened to him, just eavesdropped on him. And that also seemed like it was like a capitalism love story. I don't know what was going on there. But also, like, if Fauna really wanted to make a library, right, and like have funds for a library, she could have just made a donation box. Like, obviously, don't get me wrong, like content, you know, all that, like obviously, but like I always like think of like the logical thing. It's just like she could have just put a donations box. I mean, she almost got sued, you know, like, and kind of lost $10,000. You could have just had a donation box. But I mean, whatever. I guess just scam people out of money and just make them not like you. That's also a way you can do it. Sure. Emulates so much. It's always on streams too, and I don't know why. I don't know why it's specifically on stream. I guess talking might make it so you yawn more. I don't know, but I feel like I almost never yawn off stream, and then I yawn all the time on stream. And I don't understand it. Like, it's not even like I've not been up for that long. I got up at like 10. Like a little bit before 10 even. So like I've been up for like 4 hours. So I don't know why I'm yawning so much. My vision got real blurry, probably because I'm just staring at 2 screens. And also my phone, like the whole time. But yeah. I think we all can agree that it definitely went. I never shuffled this. I sure didn't. Boy, that was a lot of Street Fighter songs you listened to, huh? But I think we all can agree that that exceeded anybody's expectations of what was gonna happen. And like, I think most people like, yeah, they can't wait for chapter 2. I think the only people who probably wouldn't enjoy it just are people who aren't really into role playing. And like, yeah, I get it, but I like it. You know, I enjoyed it. Even like the sad bits, I feel like I was still just smiling because it's just like, oh yeah, they're role playing. That's neat. Like, I don't know, I guess it was like a proud parent, or like a parent just watching their child or something like that. You know? Like, even with the sad stuff that happened when Ame first said, "Who are you?" to Gigi or Jonathan. Yeah, I was still like smiling about it. Well, also the thing is too, is like the way I keep myself from crying is smiling or laughing. So that's another thing too, is like if I'm about to cry, like I'm probably either like smile or laugh. And then you can probably see me tearing up. And then I think after that, like, yeah, the smile goes away. But once it hits a certain threshold, yeah, that's usually my my tell that I might be starting tearing up. It's like I either like laugh a little bit or I smile. So yeah, it also could have just been that. Also, yeah, with Bijou being like the main antagonist, I guess, of chapter 1. I mean, there was the freaking, like, was it Stain King or whatever? But like, out of all of them being like main antagonists, like Bijou, I was not gonna, like, if you were to ask me on day 1 who it was gonna be, I would not have said Bijou. And even like, honestly, like day 3, because I think that was around the time she became princess, right? Like, yeah, I would not have expected that. I mean, yeah, there was the steps there that showed that she could, like, that show her going down there with like her, she was really desperate to get a hat, and then yeah, she got corrupted by the stain, which I thought was a neat idea to like incorporate that hat a little bit, you know. Thought that was neat. Like, it is interesting to think of like where the story would have gone with Bijou would have won that, because Ina had half a heart. Like, you can't script that. That's the kind of thing also where it's why I say like it's not scripted, like the like main story, and like they don't know the main story and all that. It's just because like you can't script the fact that she won with half a heart left. You can't script that. Like, especially with like, because it'd be pretty obvious if like they're not trying. I feel like in like a Minecraft 1v1 in the arena, like I feel like you could tell if they're not trying. So that one was very clearly unscripted, and them doing their best and going all out. Yeah, that was crazy. For sure. Also the first divorce of it was funny because yeah, Bijou started to like not like marriages when she was like possessed and corrupted, but I guess that part of her stayed with her after she was not corrupted. I mean, alright, sure. I feel like that's another weird like nitpick, I guess, or something, but like, it was still odd. She had that same view on relationships. Because yeah, the reason why it changed so abruptly, I feel like, was because she was corrupted. Because well, it was because she already wanted to be a part of a harem, right? And then corrupted Bijou said no. But I feel like normal Bijou would have been fine with it, because they literally had the whole side chick thing. So like, it is weird. I guess she wasn't fully relieved of the corruptness, huh? Well, and I guess she was kind of showing that with her remarks at the end of like, all the corruption, like the king turning out to be evil. I think she was making some remarks to mention that as well. It's just, I don't know. I find it. I just don't think. I don't know. I guess you could. There is a way that she could be bad again, and then like it'd be good. But I feel like it's just gonna be like a, for a wrestling analogy, like a Jimmy Uso in the Bloodline again. Because it's like, why? Why did you just do that again? They very clearly like got out, and then just like, nah, he's coming back in. It's like, why? Why not just have one of them get out then, right? Why is it both of them? Like that's weird. I mean, I'm sure it was just because like, yeah, they won the Jimmy versus Jay match at WrestleMania 40, but like it's still so odd because I feel like you could have just made them that only Jay left and not both of them. Right? It was still a very easy workaround. But yeah, I just think it has a lot like higher likelihood to turn out like that than like something good if Bijou just goes back to evil. I guess if Cece does something to make her evil again, you know, because she is her knight. Like, I just don't want her by herself to do it again, I think is my thing. Because I just feel like it's kind of underwhelming then, because like obviously that's like one of the big like things of like chapter 1 that I feel like people are gonna remember is like, oh yeah, like, you know, just defeated Bijou and like got rid of the corruption, and then if you just did it again, it's like, oh well, all right. This feels kind of underwhelming, like on her own, by her own means is what I'm saying. If someone else did it, then like, yeah, sure, but yeah, it is weird though also because like I saw Mokoko getting corrupted a little bit because yeah, Bijou also is corrupting like the rest of Advent, but like I don't remember, like there's no clips about her doing it to Narissa or Fuwawa, so I'm not sure if she did it off stream then or what, or like even them getting rid of it. It's just kind of happened, and like it must have happened at like the very beginning of a stream or something like that. It was funny though, actually, with Bijou and Nia talking about the stakes of their fight. Bijou saying that she drank the milkshake, and then Iris just walks in and is just being like, oh yeah, the one that'll turn her back to normal and won't make her corrupt anymore. Like just straight up said exactly what it would do. I think even Galley's like, no, shut up. And then also Shiori had that moment too where Nurse is like, because it was Jonathan and Ame, they were gonna have their moment, and Nurse is like, give them some private time, and then Shiori just mentioned something about like, oh, did she find her pearl again or something like that, and then I think Nurse also was like, no, shut up. I just love that 2 moments happened during that, like 2 of those moments happened. Also, Iris was, it seemed like it was gonna work of getting together with Ame, and it was gonna be like a whole thing, and then Shiori just walked up and was like, oh, are we getting another wife? Like, I feel like Shiori is such a great dynamic to it, because I feel like she really doesn't care as much about like going full in on roleplay. But like, it's like a good mix of roleplay and just like, I guess apathy as well. I'm just like, oh, well, this is what's happening, okay. Cool. Like, she's still obviously herself, which I feel like is what makes it so great. But she's just so different, her dynamic to everybody else's, that like it's just so funny. Where she's like interacting with any of the rest of them. Like, she's just going along with whatever happens, you know? And I love that. I think if I were in that server, I'd definitely be more on the roleplay side, but I feel like having someone like a Shiori is always good in those type of things. We'll just roll with whatever, you know? They'll just be themselves. I feel like that's always great. Yeah, Bijou and Shiori were the first divorce. And yeah, we have no idea what they're going to do after this. Like, if they're going to change games, if it's going to be like animated, which actually, yeah, there was an 8 on that one Hololive thing, because they added one halfway through freaking all the like memories in the middle of it. It went from 7 videos to 8, so I'm not sure if I'm burping. I'm not sure if that was made public or not. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. I assume then that's probably the trailer for chapter 2. Probably. That makes sense. It's weird. I just thought it would happen a lot later though, just because or a lot earlier rather. Because I thought it was at like halfway through, but yeah, it seems like it's still private. Oh, there's actually 2 that aren't shown. So I assume it's like the trail and then maybe one of their other memories. But then also it's weird because Shiori and Mume also like freaking hinted at them not having amnesia at all. And it's like, although to be fair, I feel like if any of the 2 of them would say that, it would be Mume and Shiori. Mume and Shiori. Okay, Mume and Shiori. So like, I don't know, man. They would be the 2 to say that. I mean, hey, they're planting seeds, you know? I respect it. Yeah, someone did say, like, oh, I hope they do carry over some of the storylines and, like, put them in chapter 2, and I kind of hope so, too. The only thing is, like, because if what I'm interpreting of Shores is right, and that they're starting chapter 2 next week, I don't know if they'll really have the time to implement those. I guess it depends on what media it's being put in, but I don't think they'd have enough time to carry those over, is my thing. So I don't know if they would do it. But like, yeah, it would be cool if they carried them over. And like, yeah, I don't think they're gonna get amnesia again. I feel like that'd be weird. Because then like, oh, Myth got amnesia again. It's like, oh, alright. What was the point of chapter 1 then? I think, though, it's going to be 4 chapters, 1 for each EN generation. And then there's probably gonna be a final 5th one that's probably gonna be shorter. So, like, in my mind, it's like how, like, in, like, some games, they'll have, like, oh, yeah, there's, like, 4 worlds, and they'll have, like, 4 or 5 levels. But then there's gonna be a final 5th world, and that's going to have, like, 1 or 2 levels. And I'm thinking it's gonna be something like that for a finale. I mean, unless they drag it out. I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I mean, it's great, you know? I really enjoy it. Honestly, all this really wants me to see, like, a Hololive, like, musical or something like that, because, like, they're really good at it. And also, like, yeah, they're obviously good singers, so, like, they could probably pull off a musical pretty easily. It is also interesting seeing a dynamic of, like, because... Okay, I think I need to set up so people like know what I'm talking about. But like how actors or like, well, they are actors in musicals, but like those people like don't know necessarily the plot of the movie or a musical going in. I mean, unless it's a musical that's already been done or again with the movie. But most of the time they don't know what the plot is going into it. But like they still have a script, right? For the most part that they have to follow. Yeah, especially with musicals, it's like basically just a script word for word. So like they can influence it, they know what's going on, right? But with this, they're basically actors, but they don't have a script. Like there is a main plot going on, but they don't know what it is. And I think that dynamic is very interesting in seeing how it transpires, because obviously again that's what happened with the Bijou Ina thing, where maybe in hindsight like, oh yeah, Bijou winning probably would have been like, it would have made more sense. But since they didn't know that was going to happen, at least for sure they didn't know that was going to happen. Now, like, obviously you're going to have to improvise, come up with something that makes sense. Which, again, I think you can. I think you can make something that makes sense. You just got to be quick on your feet. Well, and also they also have, like, an extra week or something to prepare something. There's also that, too. because yeah, I do think some of that stuff was like scripted, or like they had ideas for like what storylines they wanted to do. At least some of them did. I think Gigi was the main one of having like storylines in her head that she wanted to do, and everybody played along with it. Yeah, I think it was more improv than it was like stuff that was planned from like off-stream stuff, right? Because I think probably mostly like the only person who was doing that was Gigi, if I were to guess. That was doing the like, was coming up with ideas for how to do something off stream. I think other than that, though, all the rest of it was improvised. And yeah, I also don't think it's necessarily like, again, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that she was doing that, right? Because I feel like it can enhance it, right? A lot of people's favorite storylines is the Ame and Jonathan one, right? The Diamond and the Pearl. Like, that's a lot of people's favorite out of chapter 1. And I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. But, and like, I'm sure that was mostly like they were writing stuff off stream for like ideas and bouncing off each other, right? I feel like it's honestly a lot like wrestling in that way, right? Where they're bouncing ideas off each other, and then like in the moment, you know, they're kind of improvising a little bit, but like they had, I'm sure they had like a start goal, like some kind of middle, and then like an end goal, and then anything else in between was just improvised. And like I feel like that wrestling is a lot like that in a way, right? Because you got to make up moves on the fly sometimes, you know. Like I'm sure sometimes they work on matches being like, oh, we'll do this spot, right? But I mean, yeah, sometimes like those filler moves, you gotta like talk about those on the fly, right? There's a reason why they call signs in matches. But yeah, I think there's a lot like that. You know, bringing that comparison to VTubers and wrestling. Hololive really is the WWE of like VTuber agencies, because they also make it so you have to have a new like persona or like a gimmick. You know, like you can't bring over your old gimmick. You have to make a new one. WWE also does that. I'm sure they're like a lot looser on that now, but like definitely in the Vince era, definitely. If you had a gimmick in a different promotion, you're having a new name. Like, there's so much. Like, I think Hololive focuses more on like the entertainment aspect, or on just like, oh, match quality or something like that. Like they focus more on like the entertainment and like the spectacle of it than like technical stuff, you know. And so like I feel like, and obviously Hololive is I think the biggest corporation, and WWE is the biggest wrestling company. So like there's a lot of parallels I feel like to Hololive and WWE in that sense. Like I mean, I'm sure like different eras like Triple H and Vince era stuff, but yeah, there are you can draw a lot of parallels. I don't think they have a banned word list. I mean, it's just like swear words and stuff like that, but it's not like weird like Vince's was. Do they still have those banned words under Triple H? I actually don't know. So I haven't heard anybody really talk about it, because I know people kept memeing on it when Vince was still the main guy, but I don't know if they still have those banned words. I feel like Cody's shrug whenever like the Miz would bring up stuff like that though is like exactly how like pretty much everybody feels. Like, yeah, whatever, dude. I think he said belt, and then Miz said like it's a title, belt is what holds up your pants, and then immediately after that Rhodes just shrugged and it's like, yep, that's I feel like how everybody felt about that list. Local medical facility. Which yeah, I think during when Trump got shot, that was like the headline on like CNN or something like that. He was being sent to a local medical facility, and people were like, oh, Vince McMahon wrote this. Yeah, it's just funny though, like around that, it was just Vince McMahon trending just because of that. It's just funny. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to chapter 2 on that. I'm also very curious how the, like, obviously how like Beerus will work. And just the dynamic of them getting their memories back. It seems like Mume, I don't know what's going on with Mume. But yeah. It would be funny though if like the like final twist is like, oh, you never lost your memories, and then like Shiori and Mume are like, well, I knew that. Which also would be like a weird twist now I'm thinking about it, because yeah, they all have their own thoughts, right? It's like the only people who would know if they lost their memories would be themselves, right? So that would be a weird twist. Because I feel like you would know if you lost your memories or not. Right, unless it was like a concussion you got and not amnesia. They all got concussions. Oh yeah, I did also like because of the story of Bijou corrupting Advent, of just Shiori not being corrupted because it's Shiori. I just found that really funny. Shiori is Shiori, therefore she cannot be corrupted. And she's already corrupted, I guess. Even though, yeah, I think the stain just won nothing to do with her. Not today, it said. But yeah. There are actually a lot less clips about that day than there was before with the other ones. But I'm sure because like most it was like the outro and all that, and you know, for the most part there's not going to be too much about it. Like too many clips on it. I'm just gonna go on my phone real quick just see if there's anything I missed, but I don't think there was. Well, unless any of them came out recently, but yeah, I don't think there would have been. A lot of them is Jonathan and Name. Yeah, I don't see any new ones. Oh, well, there's one about Bae if I know about all of Iris' side chicks. I also see a post of someone being like, oh, choose one, and it's what was it, Emo, Mume, Gothfana, Callie's new outfit, and then just base Shiori. I just find that really funny. It's just regular Shiori. That's funny. I mean, yeah, she has a New Year's outfit, but I am curious on like if she were to take them other ways. Because yeah, I think she's really just had Halloween outfits, because she was Irene Adler the one time. But I am very curious. She could have a Shioriardi. Something like that. Yeah, have an outfit in there. Shioriardi. That, I said that was delivered better. Yeah. I think that's definitely interesting. Because yeah, I think Advent just has their New Year's outfit. I don't think any of them have any other outfits other than those ones. I guess to be fair, Promise I don't think had a lot either. Like they just recently got one, and I think yeah they only had one other outfit before that. Yeah, I think. But I guess they also didn't have that many either. I think Kelly has like 5, doesn't she? She has that one. She has the one where she has the red wine. Actually, that might be her New Year's one, isn't it? I think that one is. Is Mume's New Year's one the one with the beret? I guess so, right? Because like that's the only other outfit, and like I feel like it'd be weird if. Well, Bae definitely had one, which was the kimono. I don't think Mume had one with a kimono. I think it's just the beret one. One with her wearing the beret. And like the shorter hair. Was there a New Year's one? Because like, yeah, she's not wearing a kimono. It's very different than the rest of them. Because yeah, Bae and Crony had one where they're wearing kimono. Iris, I think, did too. I think Fauna did. Yeah, Fauna did. Yeah, I think because Mume wore that one with the braid short hair with him. Which, yeah, it was so much different than like all the rest of them. I actually like that Mume outfit a lot more. I actually like preferred, I'll just say this now, I prefer girls with like longer hair. I think I find them more attractive, but, or like cute. I think Mume looks cuter in short hair. It might just be the ponytail though, I'm not sure, but I really like her outfit with her wearing the beret. Actually probably one of my favorites. And Mokoko's. Mokoko's looks cute in the freaking New Year's one. She looks adorable. Yeah, those are probably my two favorite. Did Walla give freaking side boob in her New Year's one? I'm pretty sure she did. She knows what she's doing. And she's always been given to us in lore as the good twin. That's crazy. You know, the one who said nobody wants to be your sister. To her own sister. Not the evil one, by the way. Like, if anyone ever brings up, like, that she's not the evil one, I'm always bringing up that line. Every time. Because that's insane. Like, I feel like even as a joke, most people wouldn't even say that. She just let it rip, and I think that was, like, their first month there, too. I don't think it was their first collab, but I think it was, like, their first month. She just fired off, like, immediately with that. God dang, dude. Yeah. I actually going back to cinematic recollection, I definitely thought the Nerissa like Elizabeth storyline would have been like resolved. Which maybe it was a little bit, but like I definitely thought they also would have been a thing. Like it would have had a happy ending there, but maybe yeah, the main happy ending of it is the Diamond, the Pearl, and then maybe that's gonna be a later thing. Maybe they're just playing the long game. The long game with like 17 O's. Oh, did I put that in a freaking relationship? Because I was gonna make a what is love joke with Elizabeth and Nerissa, but I don't think I did on this freaking spreadsheet. Hang on. Let me see. Yes. Oh no, I said son of a witch. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Perfect. Oh, I put 2 M's. There we go. Yeah, I don't think... I'm very confused on these relationships. I don't know, man. Oh, Tom Goner wasn't there. It's really hard to tell, man. Also, did Mume just go back to being called Nanashi Mume? I forgot about freaking 7 poems. Thanks, Google Translate. I don't even know how you get 7 poems because Nanashi and Mume both mean nameless. Or like in some way at least, right? So I don't know how they got 7 poems out of it. Yeah. I also forgot that while making it that Rora went by Queen Mario. I completely forgot about that. Because yeah, it actually was on the clips before, and then once I heard that I was like, oh yeah, she does go by that, huh? I don't think in the moment, even if I thought about it, I wouldn't have gotten it, but yeah, those were in the clips. I was like, oh yeah, she did go by a different name. Because I was thinking of like the first few like days in the clips of her just saying her name. But yeah, I did forget that she changed it so she was Queen Mario. Forgot about that. I also messed up because it was Nino Ina, because that was her Minecraft username. That's what it was, which I didn't even pick up on. They were just calling her by a Minecraft username. It was Nino Ina, but yeah, it wasn't Ino Mai. It was Nino Ina. So I also screwed that up, but it's fine. I mean, yeah, I guess it's gonna go for probably like 3-4 more chapters, so I probably could keep this going. I feel like honestly it's fine if some of these are blank, because it just gives me a clean slate, so if something happens in the clip, I can just put it in. You know? Like, that's good. I'm just gonna put lovers question mark on Fauna and Mume. Because I don't know. It seemed like maybe that's going a bit jumping to something, but like I may be jumping to conclusions, but I mean, I feel like there was some tension there. Maybe that'll get resolved in chapter 2, who knows. Yeah. It is crazy that Irish is just like, all right, I'm gonna be the antagonist now. Just like, here's my chance to just play the antagonist role right here, right in front of her too. Like, that's crazy. Oh, well, actually, it was because Ina called Gigi over. That's right. That's what happened. That's why I was in front of her. I forgot about that. Because Ina called her over. I think my 2 favorite lines, or like moments though, was Nerissa and Elizabeth, or I think it was Nerissa that started, but like they were trying to have a Romeo and Juliet moment. Moko just being, stop talking about love and give me money. And then also the second one being Bijou, Ame, and I think there's a third one there, right? Like Ina or something like that. We're all gonna go gambling, and then Gigi agreed. And then Bijou, and then Gigi didn't show up, so Bijou just called her and being like, I'm gonna do stuff to your wife if you don't come over. And then she rushed right on over. It's how you get those obsessive husbands, you know? Just threaten their wives and then they'll come and come right on over. Yeah, I just found that really funny. Yeah, no, if Nerissa couldn't get Elizabeth, Nerissa was really gonna try and get Gigi and Ame back, that's for sure. Jonathan and Ame back, that's absolutely something she was gonna do. It is weird, because yeah, again, it seems like Liz just does not listen to Nerissa, she just leaves immediately. Like, I feel like there's gonna be more to that. Like, I feel like it'd just be weird if that was the end, right? Because, like, they seemed like they were having that storyline going on, too, and then it just kind of ended that last day. I don't think they really expanded on it any further. It was funny, though, because she was trying to use the invisibility potions, and yeah, in Minecraft, they're not great, especially when you have a cape that you can't take off. Those things are basically useless. I feel like, though, my favorite part was Gigi saw her the second time, and very clearly you can hear in the background, I think it was Nerissa and Ame, I think, talking about like the book. I think she had a book and that Gigi wrote, and it was like talking to Nerissa about it, but like Gigi was just paying attention to Elizabeth freaking being invisible and just not paying attention to it at all. I think that's what's funny to me, because yeah, it's a very clear conversation that also could, like, was relevant to her, and she was just ignoring. Which I think is what made it super funny. Like, if it was just a random conversation, like, sure, whatever, but, like, it was one that actually was, like, relevant to her, specifically. Yeah. Oh yeah, I should put with Bijou and Shuri, they're now divorced. I assume also though, because she said she's done with relationships, so I assume all of these are done, but like that's the only one that was confirmed. I'm beyond, I think with Nerissa it's not gonna get brought up again. Like, I think they're both gonna forget. that they're technically still married. That'd be funny though, just like straight up as a finale thing, just be like, oh hey, married couple, and they're like, wait, we're married? Oh, I wish they, honestly, I hope they don't do that, and like Covered Corporation actually does that. They won't, right? Because I think they'll forget too, but that'd be so funny. God, I would definitely, if I was the antagonist, bring that up. Just like how for me with Bijou and Fua, I just put failed assassination. I think I spelled Cabidong right. I believe I spelled it right. I think Callie is just like the tavern owner. Well, and also I think a main character, but also the tavern owner. I think she was one of the ones going through the main storyline. Oh yeah, that was actually another one of my favorite moments. Actually, if I want to add a third one. Was them being like, you know, classic anime, like, oh, there's still some good in you, Bijou, and then her like, it was something because Liz was there about like her not having a mom or something. Someone asked it about her, and then Bijou's like, oh, I actually do have a mom. Their name is Joe. And then there's someone Joe, and then Elizabeth just knew what was happening. Ah, I'm sick of this. Just walked right out, and then after she said Joe, Mama Kelly walked, just followed her. I guess the thing, like, I feel like what makes these nut jokes and Joe Mama jokes funny is just the other person's reaction, or like the person who got him's reaction. It's never the actual thing that they're saying, but it's always the person's reaction is what's funny, which I guess is probably the point. But yeah, it's always either the person who made it that reacts a lot, or like the other person, and it's always funny. I feel like though, even if it's like an awkward silence and both of them don't react, and they're just like, all right, and just move on, I feel like that's also funny. Because I also like those puns too, when like someone makes a pun and then it's just silent, and they're just like, all right, anyway. Just speed past that. I think those are my favorite pun reactions. This is someone who's obviously, as I say before, watched TRG growing up. Because yeah, it was funny, and one of my favorite Coliseum segments is Jared and Emil telling Masae dad jokes. It's one of my favorites because of Masae's reaction. And I also really like the Hololive clips of Bae reading the puns and losing her mind, and Callie whenever Ina hits her with puns. But yeah, I think also just like the silence and just like moving on, like nothing happened, is also really funny. Like, that's just the beauty of puns though. It's just like, I feel like it's just funny no matter what, because even if it flops, it's funny. Because you just gotta move on. Be like, all right. And it's either that or like you get a person getting a huge reaction. Oh yeah. Yeah, they did have good endings in the first chapter, at least between each other, not with how the actual main line of the story is going. That one was not great. Very unfortunate. But yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't put divorce on that Shiori's page. Whoops. I had to do that. Oh, dang it. God does that. Okay, there we go. I say also divorced. Just put divorced. There you go. Yeah, to be fair, I think Shiori's not gonna, like, Shiori really didn't care because she already has a bunch of other people anyway. So just kind of like, alright. Cool. It is still really bizarre to me, again, that Bijou very clearly was like very alright with it, and then freaking corrupted, and then like wasn't, which made sense, right? because that's like the corruption getting to her. And then after that, she was how she was when she was corrupted about like and feeling that way. And like it's just weird to me. It just feels it just feels off. I don't know. Oh yeah, Rauer and Tom Gonner also are married. Did I put that in there? I think they're married over Twitter. But yeah, I did see the thumbnail of that one. That they are they did do it. Old Tom Glocks. I definitely should make a clip about 7 poems. That's too funny. Google Translate is so bad. I think the thing is though, is because like yeah, there's multiple ways you can put like a certain word or phrase, right? And like I think what the problem with translating that stuff is just like it just takes it very literally. So then it's just a bunch of nonsense that doesn't make like any sense. It's why like when you translate from like Japanese to English, like like overall what the words are going to be different. So like you want to try and get the same like message out, right? You still want to get the same like emotions and the same idea out that the song in the other language gave. Because yeah, you can't just literally translate it over and it just work. I think that's honestly very rare, even in like romance, like if they're in the same branch of language. Well, maybe not with like Spanish to Portuguese or like Spanish to Italian, but I think those would be fine. But I'm sure with like most cases, you can't just do that. You're gonna have to put in a little work. I think another thing I realized though with like obviously the alternate lyrics that I didn't think about is like I'm not having fun with it. My issue is like I'm one forcing it, which I think again is bad. Like it should just come naturally to me because obviously it's going to turn out better. Well, I should say something should come naturally to me as like, oh, I should be an expert. I'm saying like I just get an idea for like a song lyric. I think honestly what would be best for me is to do stuff that don't relate at all. Because like obviously why it's hard for me is because I haven't done it. So I think if what I should do is make parodies of like songs that like basically have no correlation with each other. Like I want to do like, because I've had John Cena in my mind, so like if I do like John Cena's theme but like make it formatted around like Ina, right? I think that would be easier for me because a vast majority of those lyrics I'd change, right? And so like then that would make it so if there's songs that, like I like the lyrics or like only would change them slightly, it would make it a little easier for me. Because yeah, I think it's better to write parodies about stuff that are vastly different than that are like similar. Because that was my problem, is I was picking songs that are like super similar to like a situation, and it honestly seemed more like me just wanting to see that song reenacted like in the background or whatever, but just them replaced with it. So I think that will help me with writing like parodies as well. It's just doing that. Also, having John Cena's theme with freaking like revolving around Ina, I feel like that'd be glorious. It's something in my mind though I've thought about now, because like obviously I have John Cena. I want to do Bijou Hendry, even though like Bijou's literally a rock, right? And if I were to make her in 2K, I'd probably give her the rock bottom. I feel like Bijou Hendry is just funnier. And also I already wrote the lyrics for it. So there's also that. I think there was another one I had. Oh yeah, I had Bay and the Miz for the Biz. And it's literally just because she called herself the Bay. In recollection, I was like, oh, the Miz. and then she could be the Biz, like business too. So like it can also work that way as well. The only problem is that I came to play as the theme song, and it's very different. Like there's a lot of lyrics, so that one will probably take me a bit to write parody for. But I guess Cena's theme is the same way. But yeah, I got those ones. I can do more EC for RVD. I think that's like so forced though. Oh, Calliope. Calliope. No, that's 4 syllables. That doesn't work for RVD. It'd be funny though. Like obviously the one that like you would make the most connection with Callie would be the Undertaker. But I don't think there's a good pun for Callie and the Undertaker. Because that's the thing too, is like I want all of them to be like puns. Because you have John Cena, you have B. Joe Hendry, and you have the Biz, right, for Bay and the Miz. So like I kind of want them to be, I'm like a list actually. Should I make another sheet? I mean I can just make a doc, and just have a list, right? I can just do that. I'll switch over for once. I'll just F11 this. So why not? Why am I doing this? I can just middle it. Dang it. Hang on. So this would be HoloLive. I'll just do X WWE. Or X Wrestling, because Joe Hendry is not a part of... I should do professional wrestling probably, even though you'd probably get it, but... And I want to do this too, because I want to make a Royal Rumble, and obviously there's only 19 of them, 20 if you include Sana. And there's 9 ID, right? So it'd be 28, 29. So I'd want to include Indonesia as well. But yeah, you have John Cena, and just for people I'll put who it is, like with a John Cena, with Ina. You get Joe Hendry with I'll just put Bibbo Bibbo and Joe. Joe Hendry. I did not put these in the same order, whatever. And you have the Biz with Bay and the Miz. It also makes more sense because what is the Miz? What is the Miz? You know, you at least have the Biz. The business. And like, I'm trying to think of other ones. Let me maybe think of their names. So like Ame, Amelia. Like, I think it's also hard. Railroad is gonna be hard because I feel like not a whole lot of them are. Like, obviously, I go with like Giovanni Vinci, who's Italian, but like, that seems kind of cheap, and also I feel like kind of insensitive. It should be kind of racist, honestly. Ah, yes, the Italian should be the Italian. Good. Like, alright. Yeah, hers is gonna be hard. I want to do male wrestlers too, probably, like ideally. I guess I could do either. Because if it's a Royal Rumble, it doesn't matter if they're male or female. It's just in my mind I've only done with male wrestlers. It'd be great if one was named Bailey. Just straight up just Bailey. I mean, cause yeah, I could do like Crony Lynch. It's kind of Crony sounds like Becky, kind of. Nah, it's very loose, very loose. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like also it kind of has to make sense. I don't know if the Miz really makes sense with Bay, other than the name. I feel like Bibbo kind of works with Joe Hendry though. Actually, yeah, because Joe Hendry makes the parody songs of stuff, and Bebo has made parody songs. Yeah, so it works. Well, I don't know if John Cena and Eno really match, but John Eno's too good. I feel like, yeah, I'm probably gonna do more on like how I feel about their personality, unless the pun is too good. Like John Eno is too good. I'm sorry, but it really is. I also don't know if you can copy attires in the more recent like creation suites. I have no idea. Wasn't there a Kyla in NXT or something like that? I'm misremembering. I feel like there was a Kyla though, wasn't there? Like in WWE not that long ago? Unless I'm thinking of Kayla Braxton. I think of Kayla Braxton. That's Kayla, not Kyla. I mean, I guess it's still where I could just do Kyla, but also Kayla Braxton I don't think is a wrestler. I think she's like a backstage personality. I also think she just recently left WWE. Unless I'm mixing her up with someone. That might be. Someone Cody. Like, who would be Cody? Or like Roman, you know? Like more main eventers. It would be funny if one of them was just like a random jobber. It's like, yep. I feel like Sana, I could make a good pun with Sana's. I feel like just something about with Sana, it would just make it easy to put in a name as like a pun. Oh, you know what? There we go. Yeah, that works. Because Elizabeth has 3 initials. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, no, that works out really well, I feel like. Now, I feel like with her personality, she wouldn't be like the high flyer type, but this is also just like taking gimmicks, you know? I feel like it's just some dumb fun. So I feel like I've contradicted myself like twice here now, but you know what? It's fine. I don't think any of them have a good one with the Moondertaker. That doesn't sound great. The Krondertaker. The Fondertaker? Fondertaker. Ooh, I could do Fondertaker. Yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, I had one with Drew McIntyre. Wasn't it with Cecilia? Wasn't it Drew McEvergreen or something like that? I think it was Drucelia Evergreen or McEvergreen or something like that. I think. CM Punk. I don't know if anybody would be CM Punk. Did I get anything with CM Punk? I don't think anything that would be a good like pun name. Lokoko, I feel like also I could put in a pun. I could be really like lazy with Iris though and just put Riss at the end of it. Just really late, just any wrestler and just Riss. Like I want it to like make sense though. Like with Narissa, you can still put Iris's name in there. Like Narissa and Iris's like group name is literally just still Narissa. Right, because like obviously you have Narissa, but you also have Narissa. Right. I think I did the capitalization right. It's only the Y that's lowercase. Yeah, you have those two. Gigi feels like I also could get a good one with. I don't know if anyone would be LA Knight. It's like, how would I get the 3 syllables thing to work? I'm sure it's possible, but... And I'm sure it'd be really funny if I can get an LA Knight one. I'm just trying to think in my head how I would get it. I feel like Bijou would be LA Knight also. Just with the Koseki, yeah. She would definitely be the one that would do it out of any of them, I feel like. Like the LA Knight thing. Koseki, yeah.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and the YouTube Music app all together.
I feel like Joe Hendry works better for Bijou. It's like, I don't know who else would be. I could do she. I could do that. Yeah, I don't think any of them that they actually go by their, like, the name they go by usually. I don't think I can work it with any of them because Calliope has 4. Like, I could, well, it is technically 4, but like, I feel like you need 3 or else the 4th one just, it sounds weird. Amelia. No, Amelia is 4. Amelia. Like, yeah, that's definitely 4. Kiara. That's 3. I don't know if she would be LA Knight though. I feel like there's a better fit for Kiara than LA Knight. I don't think she'd be LA Knight. Am I missing someone? No, I don't think so, because yeah, the other one's Ina, and Callie already did. Promise Crony. Is there a super narcissistic one? I mean, The Miz was. I already did The Miz. And also, Bay's is just entirely based off the name. I don't think Bay and The Miz like are a match really at all. I could maybe do like Grayson Waller, but again, I feel like I'm doing the same thing with Raul Giovanni Vinci. I'm just, they're Italian. Or like, Grayson Waller's Australian. Because like, yeah, Bay's not even like Rhea Ripley. I feel like if anyone were Rhea Ripley, it'd be Iris. Even then, I feel like it's a loose comparison. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like also I'm just not thinking back either. Like I could do like Triple H maybe, even though none of them have the same initials. I guess that wouldn't really have to matter. Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Rock, which again, like Bijou works, like how does she fit so many of these? I could just probably do a Rumble of Bijou ones, Bijou parodies, and it would, like, I probably could, honestly. What the frick, man? Bijou, the one of many faces, apparently. God. I'm definitely, though, making her, like, base thing. She has the rock bottom as a finisher. I think I'm going to give her something else also, obviously, to make her more herself, but I have to give herself the rock bottom. You know? It's just the low-hanging fruit, man. I have to take it. I want to come up with names for their finishers, too. But I definitely would have to, like, choose their finishers first and then come up with a name for them. For sure. I don't think I'm going to give any of them Spears as a finisher, because too many people have Spears as a finisher at this point. You know? Like, we can end it on something cooler at this point, man. Come on. Yeah. Let me think. Macho Man. Randy Savage. Randy Orton. Randy Orton. I feel like I feel like it's pushing it too much though. Because Joe Hendry I feel like is like, it's good. I feel like that's like the benchmark. I feel like Randy Orton. I don't know. Crony Orton? I could try that. I mean, who would be Randy? Probably Mume. I feel like Mume would be the biggest, like the best fit for Randy. I feel like Crony works, honestly. Especially with how like Randy was, I feel like in recent years. Cause like I feel like both of their silly sides are like the same with Crony. Crony and Randy. I feel like they're similar. I just don't know if they're like cold-blooded killer. Like if Crony has that. Mume has that. Which is why like I'm thinking Mume. Yeah, I might do Crony Orton or Oroton. Randy Oroton, something like that. I'll put it down, you know. I don't know if I want Crondy. I'll do Crondy. Do Crondy Oroton. And that will be Crony Randy Orton. I feel like with the X's, they're probably making me think I'm shipping them. I'm not. It's a combination. It's like how with Proton John's community, now they've just become the princess. They aren't dating them. They have become one. Yeah, that's probably good there. Edge. I think maybe Edge. Edge would be a wild one to rewrite the lyrics for, I just realized. I don't know who Narissa would be. Because, like, I feel like even if it's like a musical character, right? Like, there's not really a whole lot of good ones. Like, I feel like people would probably say like Joe Hendry, but even then he's not a musical character. He just writes parody songs. His shtick isn't really music per se. It's definitely a selling point of his, but it's not like his main thing, I feel like. Yeah, I don't know what to do with Narissa. Shiori, I feel like would just be like Bray Wyatt or something like that. Or like Alexa under Wyatt family stuff. Or Nikki Cross, actually. Yeah, when she's like Sandy or like insane and all that. I feel like that'd be Shiori. I feel like Shiori Cross though, like that's not great. Nikori Cross. Like your Nikori Cross Savella. Like I feel like that's the name there. I don't know. Also, just like with all of these names and then just Nikki Cross. I don't know. It just seems a little weird. I haven't thought about ID, but also I don't know a whole lot about ID. Right? Like I just don't know. I don't think any of them actually have like a name that would work with like Shinsuke or Asuka. I don't think so. Thing is, like, Crony's like one of the tallest ones, so I feel like it's just kind of weird to give her Randy, because I think Randy's like on a wrestling turn, like in terms of wrestling, like on the more average size. So like I feel like I'd want to make Crony like a taller wrestler. Be her comparison, which I think is also why like I think the Elizabeth RVD thing, like other than like the name, like it's kind of a weird fit, because I think their sizes are vastly different, at least comparison to like RVD with wrestling and ERB to the rest of Hololive. Cause yeah, what I think she's like 172, isn't she? I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure she's 172. 171. Whatever. Same thing, man. But yeah. So that's that. Narissa's the tallest one, right? I believe she is. She's 175. I think Crony before those two was the tallest. She was 168. And then Fauna was like 2 inches 4 smaller, yeah, 164. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Narissa, Elizabeth, Crony, Fauna are the tallest ones. I'm sure Raura and Cecilia, I think, are more on the average height. 162. Wait, what? How tall is Fauna? Cecilia's like 2 centimeters shorter than Fauna. These heights, man. Oh, Kelly's actually taller than Fauna. I'm dumb. Yeah, Kelly's 167. Kara's 165. Yeah, Gura and Ame are small. Gura's 141, right? Because isn't Bijou 140? Yeah. Yeah, I guess the Bijou Joe Hendry thing's kind of weird, but I feel like Bijou's just such of a like that much of a meme lord. It just makes sense. Iris, I assume, is like more average height, right? 166. Is she taller than Fauna? Wait a minute. Yeah, she is. I guess the whole debate though is like, yeah, she's not wearing heels or anything. So like, she is probably like actually taller than a lot of them. She's just barefoot, while the rest of them are actually wearing heels. So that's probably raising their height. How tall is Mume? 156. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think Mume's probably like average height then. It seems like. Base 149. She's actually shorter than Ame. I didn't realize that. I need a height chart of like all their comparisons. Shiori is 1 centimeter shorter than Fauna. Like that's crazy because I feel like people say like Fauna's like on the taller side, and yeah, Shiori's literally 1 centimeter shorter, and I'm sure people say Shiori's like medium or like in the middle. These heights, man. Your R is 158. CC was 162. Like these heights, they are out of control. Well, it's 155. I assume they're like similar heights, right? Yeah, they're both 155. Okay. Sana was also on the taller side, wouldn't she? 169, yeah. With the limiter, and then without limiter, she's massive. Yeah, isn't Gigi actually taller than Ame? Yeah, 153. Like, she's actually not that short because she's 13 centimeters taller than Bijou, and I feel like people are thinking like Gigi's actually like, because Gigi's like slightly shorter than Raura. Yeah, she's 5 centimeters shorter. I don't think these proportions are right. This is what I'm saying. These proportions, just, something about them don't seem right. I don't know what it is, but someone actually have like a height alive Ian height chart. Do you have a height chart? Oh well, this is only up to Advent, but oh wow, Nurse is even taller than Sana. That's crazy. Yeah, they don't have one that includes Justice. Doesn't look like, oh, this one includes Justice. I think is that all of them? Oh, I think it is all of them. But they're not in like order, which is annoying. Yeah, like I feel like a lot of them just look a lot shorter than they really are, or like taller as well. And they're like all like honestly around the same size. Like how tall? Like Nurse is obviously the tallest one, right? How tall is 175 centimeters? That's 5'7". Their tallest one is 5'7". It's really not that tall. And then I think Bijou's 4'7", I believe, right? So like, it's. Oh, she's 4'6". Why did she say she's 4'7"? She's 140. She lied in that freaking Hitman. That Hitman one. Here, there, she got one guide. One of the two. But yeah, no, it's 4'6". You liar. I can't believe this. I've been deceived. What is 4'6"? Like, if we're actually, I'm just gonna count up because why not? 4'7" would be about. You know what? We're going decimals. Here we go. About 143.3 centimeters. That would be about there. Which I think the closest is probably Gura. At 1 centimeter taller. Oh, it also has the freaking regular heights here. God dang it. Yeah, no, Bibu is 4'6", right? Or, yeah, she's about 4'6". Yeah. That's just like how Ina just takes up such a huge amount of this. I didn't realize Iris was like. Iris, I feel like also is one of those people who's like, oh yeah, she's like in the middle, but nope, she's. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 5th tallest before Justice, and I think the only one taller than her is Elizabeth. Yeah, 166, because I think Cece's 2nd tallest at 162. So yeah, so she's 6th tallest, I believe now. And then also, if you don't want to include Sana, like active, 5th tallest active. Doesn't feel like it, nah. Even though I mean, I'm pretty sure Nephilim is supposed to be like tall. That's their whole thing, but you know, it's just it's weird. Also, like Baby in the 3rd shorts, like, because like that one was also one that's like, oh, it makes sense because she's a rat, right? She's a mouse, so it makes sense. But you don't really think about it. Also with Ame, she's real short. Did I say 4'9"? 4'9". Dang. Yeah, I do like though the tallest one's 5'7", which I'm pretty sure is not even the average height. Oh, actually no, I think it is, because average height for females I think is 5'3". Yeah, it's 5'3.5". 5'4". Whatever, man. So yeah, they do have some above average heights, but no like 6 foot tall women yet. Which I'm sure some people are probably waiting for a tall woman to show up in EN at least. I'm sure there's a tall one in regular Hololive. Maybe. Oh yeah, Kyla, right? Yeah, Kyla's freaking tall. How tall is Kyla? Forgot that. Yeah, she is real tall. Did I have that included? 173. Actually, I think that's shorter than Narissa. So never mind. I think that does make her 2nd tallest though, like compared to EN. Yeah, Narissa's 175. Nice. Nailed it. Yeah, the tallest is 5'7". I'm sure someone just made a regular one, even though it's probably gonna be massive and hard to keep track of. Yeah, that's really hard to see, especially when I click on it. That's a lot. Yeah, that's. Wow, Girl was the shortest, including ENID, All Stars in 5th gen, and China. Like, that's crazy. And then Bijou beat her by 1 centimeter, being the shortest. Well, like that's I think what's also weird about it too is like Yura and Bijou clearly look short. Yeah, I guess Iris does look tall. But like those two very clearly look short, and like Bae is only slightly taller, I think. I feel like she, well, I guess yeah, she does look slightly taller. She's 8 centimeters taller. Who's Asher then? Oh, I closed out the tab. I think it was like Moonmei or something like that. But I don't know, man. I guess it's just because you don't look at it. It just looks weird. But yeah. It just looks off. Yeah, I guess at most of these are 5'7", so even like, what's the average height for female wrestlers in WWE? In WWE, that's WWE champion. Tallest current female WWE wrestlers. Yeah, let's just look at the tallest one, sure. 5'6", 5'6". Okay, yeah, so 5'6" is like the smallest right now. Most of them actually are like 5'7". 5'8". 5'8". 5'9". Yeah, like actually like most of them are actually taller than any of the Hololive girls. 5'10", 6 foot, 6'1". The 6'1's the old or tallest, not the oldest. But yeah. That's interesting. They're like most of them are like the same height as Narissa, or I could do Naria Ripley. Probably. Iria Ripley. I don't want to just put Riss at the end of it, even though like that's kind of her thing. I wanted to be some like not super lazy, just putting a wrestler and just putting Riss at the end of it. Like, come on, we could do better than that. Is she freaking Rhea Ripley though? Don't know, man. I just don't know. You know, I'm gonna do one that I thought of earlier. I'm gonna do Fondertaker. Because I feel like that's just a fun one. Which would be Fauna and the Undertaker. XD. I feel like that's just gonna be a fun one. So I wanna do the Fondertaker. I could do Naria Ripley. I don't know if I can get like Ripley and Ravencroft to work together. I guess they'll also, because like the thing I'm taking it from, they also like would combine names with each other. So, but that was if they had the same name. So I don't know. Because I'm thinking of Stone Cold Austin Creed. But yeah, that's just because they had a matching name in there. It's like before and after in Wheel of Fortune, right? I don't think any of them have matching names. Of any of them, so I can't really do that. Bijo Hendry's really the only one I can do that with. And even then, so it's like not even her name. It's just what like Kyla and I think some of ID calls Bibu. So yeah. And the Biz. ERB. Yeah. I might do Naria Ripley. Because what else am I gonna get with Narissa? I feel like Narissa's hard. I guess Rissa wouldn't be that hard to like throw in. But getting all of Narissa. Or like Naria. Right? I feel like Naria actually sounds like a name. Too is the thing. I feel like I shouldn't make it a middle name either. Like Naria, because Ravenly doesn't, like, that doesn't work. It can't go in like with Ripley. Rapley, it would work in the way that the RA would be in there. But I feel like Naria Rapley doesn't really tell you Rapley. Like that doesn't work. I guess I saw John, right? You know, I'll do Naria. I'll do Rhea Ripley for Marissa. I mean, like, this can also change anyway. I'm just putting these down just so, like, I don't remember. Or just so I don't remember. So I do remember. I just feel like it's so funny that Fawn is going to be Undertaker. It was a shared character, right? I mean, Bradshaw, I think, was one. That doesn't really work. I think also she wouldn't be JBL. Yeah, I feel like, honestly, ERB just works for Elizabeth and RVD. Because, I mean, like, yeah, you just do the thing with ERB. And, like, that works a lot better. Gigi Zane. I could maybe do Gigi with Sami Zayn. That could maybe work. Yeah. I don't think Cecilia would be Sami Zayn. I'm trying to think of Ami Zayn. I would have to change Ame though to Ami. Ami Zayn. Oh no, you know what? This works way better. I put in caps lock. Ah. Did I put it? Nope, I didn't. Girl. Sami Zayn. Yeah. Sami Zayn. Perfect. It doesn't have a girl's name in it, but I mean, she also goes like Same, Ame Same. So I mean, it works. Sami Zayn. That's really good. I guess I could have done Ame Zayn. Now I'm thinking about it. Well, it's Sammy, not Same, right? So like, yeah, whatever. You know what? Whatever. I don't think there's been any Amelias in, at least notable ones in WWE. There's been a Billy and a Peyton and a Sasha and an Alexa. Okay, let me just run down who I've done, or I don't have. So I don't have Callie. I don't have Kiara. Kiara, I had one, didn't I? And I was like, that doesn't really, I don't think I would fit them. I don't remember who it was now. Oh, LA Knight, that's who it was. You got Kiara. You got Ame. I didn't say Ame. The rest of Myth. I don't have who is it? Because I have Fauna, I have Crony, I have Bay, I have Mume. Who's the other one? Iris. I don't have Iris. And I mean, I don't have Sana because I'm probably gonna have one with Sana. Because if I'm making a 30-man Rumble, I gotta fill out the roles. It's still only gonna be like 29, I think, or 28. I still need to fill out 2 more. I don't know what I'm gonna do with those. Yeah, Sana. So I'm going to Advent. I don't have either Fuamoko. I don't have. Actually, I'll put 2 fingers up for that. I don't have Shiori. I think that's it for Advent, right? Yeah, because I have Bijou and I have Narissa. And I don't have CC and Raura. Right? So is that 11? Actually, I can just count this. Why am I highlighting it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 11. Because I only count EN and I don't have the rest of ID. Which is 9. So that'd be 11 plus 9 is 20. Got it. Didn't do some Gura math. There, we're good. Moonmane, I don't think would really work. It's like Kane. I was thinking Kane and Moonmane, but Moonmane, Kane May doesn't really work. I feel like I gotta use the bathroom. I probably should. I'll probably go. You know, I'll go 7 more minutes and then I'll probably end it. Because I'm really not doing a whole lot here. But I think here I need to think of more people. Jade Cargill. You know, I don't think anybody's Naya. Because like I think all of them are around the same. Like just looking at them, like they're all around the same weight. And if I were to guess, because some of them look like fat or anything. Some look skinny, but they don't look fat. Which isn't supposed to be like a diss at Naya or anything. It's just like I feel like that's a lot of her offense is like she's a big body and like obviously a lot bigger than all the rest of them. So I feel like it just wouldn't really work. It's like a Rikishi, you know, the same way. Yeah, I don't think it would really work as well. Bianca. I feel like I'm just thinking of wrestlers now and not putting them with the actual Mume Bianca. That doesn't roll off the tongue. That doesn't mesh well, I feel like. Yeah, I mean it has the same like it ends with an I and begins with an I. But that's where it starts and ends. The Great Khali. I am blanking. I feel like also someone should be Cody. I don't know if any of them will fit Cody. Like, obviously there's Calliope, but I don't think... Like, could I get Calliope? Like, honestly, I feel like Morty would be better. But even then, that sounds stupid. Morty. I'm not saying Morty, I'm saying Morty. And that just sounds stupid. Collide? I guess? Collide roads? Maybe? I don't know. I feel like I'm forcing too much with Callie. I should see if there's a better fit. They also have Ame. You also got Kiara. Oh, Kiara and Cody might be able to fit something. Kiardi Rhodes. Like, honestly sounds better. Like Kiardi. Even though I don't think that's a word. But also, the person I watched literally did RVD. What was it? Oh, it was Cesar VD. That's what it was. It was Cesar VD. So I feel like I'm fine with doing ones that don't, like, aren't names. And also, I feel like it fits better than LA Knight. I would want to do an LA Knight one. Maybe that one would just be a joke. I could make it so there's 2 Bijou ones. She has Joe Hendry and LA Knight. Just the 2 most over people in wrestling right now, probably. She's just the parody of both of them. Bijou Knight, yeah. Yo, I'm gonna throw that down there just as a just in case. I think I like Bijou Knight or Bibu Knight. Bibu Knight, yeah. That's Bibu and Ellie Knight. And then I'm probably gonna do Kiardi Rhodes. That's like, oh, I could maybe do some Takanashi and Nakamura. Takanorma or Takanorma. Wait, hang on. Nakamura. There we go. Takamura. Okay, no, that works better. Yeah, no, that works way better. Shinsuke Nakamura. Takamura. Yeah, that looks a lot better. And Shinsuke Nakamura. The bird of strong style. Yeah, Takamura works a lot better. I don't think I can get like with Kiara, with Shinsuke, but Takamura is way better. I don't know how I didn't put that character with Takamori. And I literally brought up Shinsuke's name earlier. Yeah, whatever. It does still make me left. I don't know who to put Cody Rhodes to. Maybe just nobody. Maybe no, Cody would just have nobody. I think also the music stopped. Hang on. It's probably stopped for a while. I'm sorry. I wasn't really paying attention to that. Actually, we're gonna end in a minute anyway. Yeah, I might just end it there with Shinsuke Takamura. I think the biggest stress is probably Naria Ripley. I don't know if there's a better one I could get with Rissa though. Because Ravencroft also is just like, it's 2 words. I don't know if I can get it to work. I guess maybe if their last name like ends with an N, I can do Croft at the end, but I feel like that's just the same thing putting Riss for Iris's thing, you know? I want it to be like a little more clever than just adding Riss at the end of it. Unless I literally have nobody, then like sure, I'll just do that. But I want it to be at least a little clever. I guess Gyrus is clever because it Guy as an I, so like yeah, you can play off of that. At least like you can play off that a little bit. So yeah, they probably have to end with like an I sound, which I'm sure I could find that, and then it wouldn't be that bad. Yeah, I think I'll end it here because we're at 2 hours and I really gotta use the bathroom. So yeah, I'll go over, make the switch. Put these up real quick. All right, and then the other thing is, all platforms. Well, 6464. So yeah, I'll see you freaking Tuesday. Yeah, that's right. Goodbye.